What happens if I file an I-130 for a second spouse? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our office here in St. Louis, Missouri. We've had a few consults lately with individuals, U.S. citizens, who have filed an I-130 for their second spouse, and they had filed one before for their first spouse, and they're experiencing some delays in the processing of the I-130 for the second spouse. And they want to know, Jim, what can we do? Can we sue? Can we get this case moving? And of course, those are options. Those are tools in our toolbox, the option of filing a lawsuit against USCIS. But I wanted to shoot this video to get to the question of why are cases involving a second spouse taking so long? And I think there's a variety of reasons for this. Now, number one is if you have filed for a spouse before and now you're filing for a second spouse, it makes USCIS wonder if you're in sort of like a business of sponsoring foreign nationals for green cards. So they're going to get suspicious. I remember a story a while back where a woman in New York had filed 14 green card applications for different people, different alleged spouses. Now, of course, that was criminal and not the way you're supposed to do things, but it reminds me that sometimes things slide right past them. So USCIS had actually missed the fact that this woman was a serial filer, and this is not what I'm talking about in this video. What I'm talking about are situations where someone is a U.S. citizen, they marry someone from back home or from overseas, they file an I-130 for them, that person comes to the United States, gets a green card, maybe even gets their citizenship, and then they get divorced, and the U.S. citizen wants to try it again, and they go back home to the home country or back overseas and file a second application for their new spouse. I think USCIS and the State Department in particular look sort of harshly at these cases, and they're really going to wonder why. Now, I had a consult the other day with a fellow who his first wife had become a criminal in the United States, so she had gotten her citizenship and she was a criminal. So I think that some of that behavior by the foreign national ex-spouse sort of blows back on the U.S. citizen and makes it harder to get their second case approved. I think just generally getting a second I-130 approved for your spouse is going to be tough. You're probably going to need help. It's probably going to be a hard road to hoe. It's doable, and we've seen them approved, but when you have previously sponsored someone, you're going to be held to a higher standard. They're going to want to know everything about you. They're going to want to know everything about your relationship with this new spouse. They're going to want to know whether the second spouse knew about the first spouse or whether this is some kind of a scheme. Depending on what country you're from, they might hold you to a higher standard because they view immigration fraud from certain countries, like say Nigeria, a little more harshly than other countries. So there's a lot going on here. When you want to file for a second spouse, you're probably going to want to get some help from an immigration lawyer who knows what they're doing. So if you have questions about this, give us a call at 314-961-8200. You can email us at info@hackinglawpractice.com. Be sure to join us in our Facebook group, which is called Immigrant Home. And if you like this video, we ask that you please share it out on social so that you can update your friends and family with all this great information, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.